All right. Welcome back, everyone. We're diving headfirst into Aussie politics today.
Oh, yeah. Strap yourselves in.
Things got, well, let's just say, pretty interesting down in Parliament this week. Senator Lidia Thorpe, front and center, as usual.
You can always count on her for a bit of, shall we say, theatrics?
That's one way to put it. I mean, torn up documents, accusations flying across the Senate, a walkout, the whole 9 yards.
A regular Wednesday afternoon, eh?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, I know this might seem a bit, inside baseball, but bear with us.
Oh, it gets juicy, trust me.
It really does. It touches on some pretty fundamental stuff. Freedom of speech versus decorum in government, even a bit of international relations thrown in for good measure.
Right. How do we make sure those passionate voices get heard, but also keep things, somewhat civilized?
Exactly. So Senator Thorpe, as many of you know, she's a pretty prominent Indigenous Australian politician, known for, well, not mincing words,
Never afraid to speak her mind.
putting it mildly.
Okay.
And this week, she was involved in, well, as we said, a pretty heated incident.
Heated is one word for it.
Haha, true. Now, the incident itself involves Senator Thorpe tearing up some documents. And these weren't just any documents.
Right. These were related to another senator, Fatima Payman, and her eligibility to be in Parliament in the first place.
Oh, so this wasn't just a random act of paper shredding.
Not even close. It seems like Senator Thorpe was deeply opposed to, well, everything those documents represented.
So there's a deeper layer here. Some serious ideology at play. I mean, this wasn't just about the papers themselves, right?
Right. Think about it. Senator Thorpe has always been a fierce advocate for Indigenous rights, super critical of what she sees as systemic injustice in Australian politics.
Makes you wonder, was this a way of, symbolically rejecting a system she sees as fundamentally broken?
Absolutely. You could interpret it that way for sure. A powerful, albeit unconventional, way of making a statement.
Definitely got people talking, that's for sure.
Hmm.
But unsurprisingly, the Senate wasn't exactly thrilled with her little performance.
Yeah, they ended up suspending her for, what they call disorderly conduct.
Right, disorderly conduct. So here's where it gets interesting, because every parliament, pretty much everywhere, has these rules, right? To make sure debates stay somewhat, on track.
Like, imagine a classroom with no rules. Chaos, right. Same
Yeah.
deal in Parliament. You need some kind of structure.
Right. But where's the line between, passionate expression and just causing mayhem?
Yeah, and that's what's so fascinating about this case. Senator Thorpe is basically pushing the boundaries of what's considered acceptable behavior in the Senate.
And this is where things get even more, well, interesting. Because the story doesn't end there.
Oh, no, not even close. The next day, she's back.
She's back, all right, but not exactly in her seat. This time, she's outside the chamber doors shouting slogans in support of Palestine.
And not just outside the doors, she takes it to the press gallery, too.
Bold move. So this isn't just about Australian politics anymore, right?
Right.
We're suddenly talking about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
And that's the thing. These global issues, they have a way of weaving themselves into domestic politics.
For sure. So I guess the question is, what was Senator Thorpe trying to achieve with all of this? Was it an effective form of protest?
That's the million-dollar question. I mean, she definitely got people's attention.
No doubt about that.
But did she actually advance the causes she cares about? Or did the message get lost in the, shall we say, delivery?
Good point. When you're seen as being disruptive or disrespectful, especially within the very institution you're trying to influence, it does make you wonder, does it actually help your cause?
It's a delicate balance.
So for our listeners out there, what can we take away from this whole saga? I mean, we've got clashing ideologies, a debate about rules and decorum, and a reminder that global issues don't stay confined to, some far-off corner of the world.
Right, and I think it all comes back to this. How do we as citizens, as individuals who care about these things, how do we balance that passion, that urge to speak out with the need for some kind of order and respect, especially within a democratic system?
It's a question we all got to grapple with, not just in the halls of Parliament, but in our own lives too, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, think about it. Have you ever felt so strongly about something that you were, I don't know, tempted to break the rules, to speak out in a way that might ruffle some feathers?
We've all been there.
How do we make our voices heard without, resorting to chaos? Food for thought.
Definitely something to ponder.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Hope you found it, well, thought-provoking, to say the least.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, everyone.